Welcome back to my channel. Now, have you ever had a lead or a potential client tell you they're interested and then they just go disappear into thin air? Or maybe you've got lots of people who engage in your content, but they never actually put skin in the game. They never actually buy from you or get involved, right? Well, this is because Google's latest study on buyer behavior, this is the reason why. This is the why it keeps happening. But the good thing is I'm going to show you what you can do to fix it, right? This whole concept was born out of being the messy middle. This is what they've called it. Whereas before, it used to be quite a linear process. It used to be quite simple, straightforward. But we're in a position now in the world where there is a lot of options. There's a lot of ways for people to figure out, compare, research that. So it got a little bit more messy. And this is what the latest, like I say, study by Google has confirmed, that things have changed. The way that people are buying has changed. So I'm going to, in this video, walk you through what it looks like and why that's important for you and your business, and also what you can do about it, okay? So first and foremost, let me just get the iPad up. So what we're going to have here, we've got two different areas, right? So this one here, and just get that nice and round. This one is going to be awareness, right? So you know, hopefully, that before someone buys or makes a decision, they need to be aware of you, right? They need to have an idea of what you do. Is it something that they need? They need to find you first, right? And then on the second one over here, we've got the decision. So they become aware and then they make a decision. So back in the day, if you just flip that round, that's what used to happen. That's the quote unquote standard funnel that just took someone through awareness, interest, desire, and then taking an action. Quite straightforward, like I say. But now it has changed. Things are different. This is the messy middle. Okay? That's a little bit what my head looks like sometimes. But that there is, like I say, the messy middle. And the problem that we've got now is that people think that buyers go straight from seeing your content to buying it, but that's not how it works, right? Instead, they get stuck in here, get stuck in this part here. And this is where they are doing their research, they're having loads of different doubts, they're comparing, they're procrastinating, all of that stuff. Okay, so for me, it's important that we understand this is what's going on in your potential clients and customers' heads before they make a decision, which then gives you loads of feedback, but also it almost makes you feel better because you can actually go, oh, do you know what? That is maybe why not so many people are seeing the stuff and taking action straight away. And you know what? I need to do these things to make that process clearer for them, to make sure that I'm the person that's right for them, and vice versa. Okay. So this is real groundbreaking stuff when they brought this out in terms of the study, because they have so much data to look at that this has to be, and this is what you're seeing, a shift in the way that your audiences are buying as well. You would have noticed this, even if it didn't make sense at the time. This is why it's not happening the way it used to. So then what we're doing here is we now need to think about what goes on within these spaces. Okay, so let me just change this color a little bit. So what we're doing here is we've got two different, let me just delete that actually. We've got exploration. Okay, so people are looking at lots of different options, seeing what's out there. Okay, and then we've got evaluation as well. Okay, so then at that point they're comparing, they're looking at you and someone else, another coach or a few other coaches, then they're overthinking it, then they're hesitating, then they're not doing anything at all. And that's where you get people like not replying to your messages or just disappearing off the face of the earth. It's not because they hate you, it's because of this stuff that's going on, right? So think about it this way. Have you ever gone to buy like a new, say if you had bought a new laptop and you have like all the tabs open on your desktop, you've read all the reviews, you've looked at all the YouTube videos, and still you haven't decided? That's what's going on here. That's the messy middle. That's all of this stuff here. Your potential clients are doing the exact same thing with your offer. They are, in essence, they're just comparing. They're looking through all of the different options. They're going through your page. They're looking at all of your stuff they can find. They're probably consuming you on different platforms. They're listening to your podcast. They're reading your emails. They'll be on other people's emails lists. They'll be consuming their content. So for me, this then gives you all of the tools to be able to go, oh, that's why. And it makes sense then, rather than it just feeling weird that all of a sudden someone's just disappeared off the face of the earth. It's because of this. It's not because they all of a sudden just don't like what you're doing. It's because of all this. So it takes away that pressure, but also it gives you things that you can do to solve it as well. And that's a few things that I'm going to work on now. So let me bring up the iPad again. So if we get, let me just get, actually we'll pull this down a little bit. Yeah. Right, so let's have a look at some of the common things that go on, right? Common marketing advice. And what people are basically saying that you need to do, right? So I'm sure you can all think of some of these, but they say things like just post more content, post more, or you just need to be consistent, right? I'm sure you've heard that. It's not untrue, but it's just shit advice, right? Or my favorite, you just need to add value. Like, what is this? What is value? Explain it, because it doesn't help anyone. It's like just saying to someone you just need to move more and eat less. Brilliant, thank you for that. Amazing insight there. So these things aren't wrong, but if your marketing isn't guiding people through the middle, the messy middle, then you're just adding more noise. You're just adding more information, because at the moment you've got all of this stuff here that people are trying to think about, right? So imagine your potential client is here. Okay, all of the consumer in their head is this, right? So that's all they're trying to do at the moment, is make this decision. You just doing this stuff here, it just adds to that noise. It just makes it even more noisy. So it makes it even harder for them to understand, right? To make a decision. They don't need any more information. They need help to make a decision. They don't need the information. They just need help to go, oh, you're the right person for me. So just by sharing more information about protein or how to drink more water or whatever, that doesn't help anyone. It doesn't. People can find this now. It on the touch of a button, it can just be found. What they need is to see that you're the right person for them. And that happens over a few different ways. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few bits on that now. So this is how to, let's put this in here and then like how to fix this. Okay, right. So you've got the messy middle, right? So we've got these here. We've got stuff that's going on. Let me just pull that down. And then throughout this, you're going to have some things that need to help them get through. So they need to get them from one side. Here's your man or woman over here, and this guy. And then what we're going to do is from one side to the other, we need to get them across. So with this in mind, let's do this one here. We need to build trust. Across. So your audience they need like multiple touch points. They don't need viral posts, viral content. That stuff doesn't, if anything, it's a negative impact, because you might end up with a load of people who just aren't interested, and then your engagement will drop. So you need to focus on nurturing the relationships across different platforms, and you do that, like I say, by building trust, because people, this person here is going to be consuming all your content in different places to make sure that you're the right person for them. Then we need to look at addressing the objections. So before they come up, not on the call. So you get on a call and you're like, I'm going to handle these objections. Say some magic words and they will suddenly sign up. Like, it's too late. On the call is where you just finalize a few things. But before that, you need to address the objections. So if they're wondering, like, will this work for me? Is it worth the investment? All that stuff needs to be answered in the content. So you answer that within your content, over the different channels you're in. You might have, so like through long form content as well. Like all these bits should be going towards handling objections. So that helps you to not just share the information like we talks about, it's to think about the objections about why people might not want to work with you. Cool, let's talk about them. And then the final one here is you create an ecosystem. Okay, so a bit close to this one, but your ecosystem is yours. You're in control of this. So your marketing, your content, your emails, your conversations, whatever it is, right? They should all work together. They all work in tandem for you. They don't just exist separately. And if anything, your marketing becomes, it's the first touch point, right? This is the first touch point for your coaching. So when someone is seeing your marketing, this part here, that's like the first touch point of coaching. So don't see them as separate. They're an extension of each other. So when you're doing good marketing that is then aligned to your audience, and you're doing these things by building trust and addressing the objections and creating an ecosystem, right? That's the start point of your coaching. If you think about it like that, you'll stop seeing it as two different things. I need to market, I need to coach. No, they're together. They work together, right? Your content is like, I think of it like a playlist, right? They're not just random songs. Each post, each email, each message, podcast, YouTube video, it moves them a step closer to going, yeah, you're the one for me. It moves them a little bit closer through this middle to then making a decision. That's all it's doing. So people aren't just buying in a straight line anymore. Like, they're not just going, done. That doesn't happen. They're getting stuck in this middle part. And your job isn't just get more leads, it's to get the right people unstuck from here. So your people are already in here. We need to get them unstuck. And that's how having all of these things in place will be able to help you. And this is the backbone of building an ecosystem that's yours, rather than having the control taken from you in terms of the platforms that you use. Build your own system that gives you back that control, so that you can then go, hey, no, I feel like I know what I'm doing here. And also I can start to speak to my audience. It feels more personal. People want that now. They want personalization. They don't want generic stuff. And also, as a successful business owner in this space, you have to get on board with that. You have to get on board with personalizing, not just your coaching. That goes without saying, right? You have to get on board with personalizing your marketing towards your audience, because otherwise they'll go with someone else. So thinking about that, even it might be more work, it might be more things that you need to learn and more things that you need to upskill on, but those things will only pay off. So I hope this has been useful, and please let me know if this makes sense, or if you've got any questions on it. Let me know in the comments below. I'll always reply to them and get through to you. Like I say, this is just part of a process that we do with coaches, and this is just an awareness of the things that are happening at the moment, and it hopefully makes sense now of like why certain things might be happening in your business. If you want more stuff like this, please hit subscribe, because I'll be putting videos like this out every single week with more slower marketing strategies that actually work to get you away from the hard, quick fix stuff that's you probably tried and hasn't been successful. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.